So my presentation is on why fast food companies are legally responsible for obesity. Now, to understand this, we have to examine some background information. Um, the average American eats fast food 149 times a year, which equates to approximately 190,000 calories a year from fast food, which is more or less 3 months worth. So that means 1/4 of our entire caloric intake is from fast food, which is a huge amount. The average American buys fast food 5.8 times a week, which equates to approximately 7,000 calories per week or 3.5 days worth. Um, so, and according to the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, fast food accounts for 11% of the American diet, which is much higher than it was several decades ago. And coincidentally, obesity rates since then have also drastically increased, which suggests a link between the two. And over the last 40 years, the Americans have become accustomed to eating 544 more calories per day than we used to, and than what is needed, um, which is approximately 20% extra per day, which is actually a very large amount. According to this graph, from 1970 to 2009, people went from eating a little over 2,100 calories a day to approximately 2,700 calories a day, even though the recommended amount for a grown adult is 2,000. Now, the fast food industry should be legally accountable for obesity because it promotes unhealthy eating through a variety of different ways. Now, just how bad is fast food for you? Consumption of fast food can lead to increased risk of heart attack, stroke, diabetes, and countless other diseases and health conditions. And almost all fast food contains large amounts of fat, sugar, and salt, which are the three staple ingredients. Um, and one meal could easily contain your daily amount of any one of those three ingredients. Um, Other effects can also include acne, depression, dental damage, cavities, um, and many other things. Now, according to researchers at the University of South Australia, for each 10% increase in the density of fast food restaurants in a region, people are 1.39 times more likely to die from a cardiovascular condition, which strongly suggests a link between cardiovascular health effects and fast food. Um, Many people also have drawn comparisons between the fast food industry and the tobacco industry, citing how both industries try to cover up the health effects of their products. Now, why are they legally accountable for obesity? They market specifically towards certain minority groups such as children, teenagers, African Americans, and Hispanic youth, knowing that these groups tend to have a higher obesity rate than others, especially children who are incapable of um, comprehensive reasoning, and they also strongly fight any health standards the government tries to impose on them with their enormous lobbying power. Um, and they do impose self-regulations to appease lawmakers and the public, although they are much less stringent than government ones and don't really do much. They're mostly for show. And they also purposely mislead consumers. Since very little oversight is placed on the industry, they're able to get away with a lot of somewhat shady stuff. Researchers have noted time and time again that certain advertisements they do are quite misleading to the public. For example, Burger King will slice up apples and put them in French fry containers to make them look like fries, such as in this picture. But this is subliminal advertising and still promotes French fries. They also engage in massive advertising. What they often do is subliminal advertising, such as the French fry style apples, and people aren't aware of when subliminal advertising is acting upon them. So it's sort of like mind control in a way. Fast food companies are completely aware of the damage that their products cause to people's health, but they don't really seem to care about anything but their profits. And they will also promote so-called healthier options to appease lawmakers and the public, but once examined, they turn out not to be any healthier at all. Usually, it would have like less fat but more sugar, or vice versa, or something. Um, they definitely value profit over health. The calorie content of fast food meals is 55% higher than home cooked meals. So fast food has almost 1.5 times, more than 1.5 times the calories of home cooked food, and most of the calories from fast food are empty fat or sugar calories, whereas home cooked food, the calories are largely from protein or some other useful vitamin or mineral. And they specifically design their food and drink to be as addictive and as craving as possible, often adding lots of strange chemicals that really make their food addicting. So, in conclusion, the fast food industry should be considered legally accountable for obesity because they market towards specific groups, such as children, teenagers, African Americans, Hispanic youth, with the sole intention of selling them food without any respect for their health. They constantly fight any health standards and impose very lenient, like kind of fake ones, um, instead to appease people. They purposely mislead consumers with deceptive advertising and the like, and they engage in massive advertising, making sure that nobody goes without seeing their commercials. And they, last but not least, they consider their profit more important than consumer health, um, such as, so food companies must be held accountable for their poor decisions and actions.